Hello everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Sakeina. If you are new to this channel and are unfamiliar with who Sakeina is, she is my spirit guide. These readings are for the collective and they are timeless. You will come upon these readings when you're meant to. So let's see what Sakeina's message is today. At the start of each reading, Sakeina gives two cards. One, at my request, is so that I know that it is her that I am speaking with. And this time she gave us the Knight of Pentacles. So this is just her way of saying she is walking with us. And the second card is the subject matter card, what this reading will be about. And in this case, we have the Tower. So it appears what she's saying here is something about when this earth life is falling apart or seems to be a disaster. This is what this reading will be about. Now, if you've watched the trailer to this channel, you know that research and study are part of every conversation with Sakeina through these cards. This conversation involved 2 extra jumpers for a total of 14 cards, including these, and the words natural law spoken really loudly in my head. Research brought forth 14 universal laws, one for each card that Sakeina gave me. But that's not all. In conversation number 3, Sakeina made me aware of the connections between the top card and the bottom cards in the spread that we use, just like when she started to use this card and the subject matter card together. It used to be these were separate. There'd be hello, this is me, and then the subject matter. Now she uses the two of them together. This time in this reading, she is using a zigzag pattern, all except for the last 2 cards. They don't have a match between them. So she's training me as I share her conversations with you. So in an overall context here, just with these cards and what I found online, she's saying when your life seems to be falling apart or seems to be looking like a disaster, use these 14 universal laws to change your life around in a very magical way. So let's see what cards she gave us and what the universal laws are. So we're starting with the Ace of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Justice, Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Wands, Five of Cups, Ace of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Might have to move these over a little bit so that the Page of Swords can be, it's not going to be on the table, is it? All right, we'll just put that with this. Just like that. No. Not real sure how to get these all on here, but we'll get them there. All right. So starting out with the Ace of Wands, we're going to make a mess here anyway. The Ace of Wands, she's giving us first. The Ace is a 1. And this is a card of creation. The Phoenix that is in this card, I'm hoping you can see the Phoenix. In Roman and Greek mythology, the Phoenix is a divine spark of creation, and it is associated with the sun or source of energy. So the law is the law of oneness. So here we have the 1. And the law is talking about how we are all connected. And our energy, all of our energies, whether it be people, whether it be animals, trees, plants, anything that is living is an extension of source energy. So what we do, what we say, what we think, and what we believe affects all of us. Our individual thoughts, actions, words, beliefs affect each and every one of us, even people we have never seen across the globe. So to work with this universal law of oneness, compassion is a really big thing, and respect for all living things. And we also need to become aware of what we do, say, think, and believe. And as I said, we're going zigzagging because that's the way she took me. Okay, so card number 2 is the 4 of Wands. And this card is a card of harmony and positive feelings. I mean, she looks so happy on this card. It's a card of celebration. And when we're looking at the birthday cake, we know that she's going to make a wish here. This card is reflective of the law of vibration. Everything in the universe vibrates at a specific frequency, a unique frequency. No human being, no animal, no living thing has a frequency identical to another. Just as our fingerprints are unique to us, so is our vibration. So to work with the law of vibration, we need to raise our vibration so that we can attract positive experiences and positive people and good circumstances and so on. So we have the law of oneness where we're all connected, and we have the law of vibration. All of these will work together. And if you think about it, with the law of oneness, having compassion and paying attention to what we're thinking and saying and doing and believing is going to raise our vibration anyway. We can just do that even further ourselves by being happy and looking at our situations in a whole new light, being thankful, being grateful. So next is the 6 of Pentacles. And in this card, this individual is helping someone that looks in need. So this is a card of helping others. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just money. It can be time, energy, and other resources that you are helping others with. So this is in conjunction with the law of action. And that law says to manifest what we desire, we need to have inspired action. And inspired action is just kind of a gentle nudge to do something. It is not always a plan to act. So in this case with this card, this person may have just been walking down the street and come across this person in need and decided to share, decided to help. Or it can be a planned action. Next is the Four of Pentacles. And as you can see, this individual on here is holding very, very tightly to, in this case, their coins, their money. Or could also be time, could be resources, could be energy, holding very tightly. And this card is in correspondence with the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence is the as above, so below, or as within, so without. So like here, what you see on the outside, your environment, the things around you, is going to reflect what is going on internally. So if you feel as though you are lacking, chances are your outside environment is going to look like you're lacking. If you are sharing in this way with the law of action, if you are being generous to others and that is where your mindset is, abundance is going to come back to you. You won't have this mindset. So what the law of correspondence is saying is that you can transform your thoughts and your feelings and beliefs, but you need to do them internally or spiritually. Work has to be done on the inside to affect what's happening on the outside. That is the law of correspondence. The Page of Pentacles. This page climbed over this mountain with the intent, he had been given a task to find this key for the Queen. And as the Page of Pentacles, he is very serious about his task. So he made it over the mountain and he found the place where the key was buried, where it was hidden. And he was rewarded with what he did. He was rewarded by finding that key because he was focused, he was grounded, and he was doing it, number one, for someone else, but he was also doing it in integrity. So the law that matches with this card is the law of cause and effect. And that law is saying that nothing happens by chance. Every action has a reaction, whether it's good or bad. Its return energy might not come back to you immediately, but you will be affected by it eventually. So the law is asking you to think about your actions, your words. Are they beneficial to you, to others? Will they bring you a good return? In this case, with this page, he dug up the key, but he didn't leave a giant hole. Now, what if he had left a giant hole? You can see the knight back here. We'll just call him the rider right now. And what if he was riding this direction and the page walked away and had left a big hole? It might have broken the horse's foot. So something would have ended up, it's a cause and effect thing. Eventually, that action, that laziness to fill back in that hole, would catch up to this page somehow. Maybe he would break his leg. At any rate, he was smart enough to dig up the key and then fill back in the hole. So in integrity for the Queen, this key he will eventually give to the knight will eventually give it to the Queen, and the Queen will eventually give it to the King. So it's all good intent. So what comes, the reaction that's going to happen will be a good one. Law 6 is the card, the Wheel of Fortune. And this is a card that says what comes around goes around, or what goes around comes around. It's kind of a karma card sometimes. And the law that goes with this card is the law of compensation. Kind of similar to the cause and effect what we put out, our intention, our desire, and the action that we do, it comes back by way of abundance in all areas of our life. We are compensated for our deeds, good or bad, tenfold. That's what the law of compensation is about. So if you're kind, kindness comes back. If you're nasty, nastiness comes back. So the question to ask yourself with this particular law, in working with these laws, is how can you help others today? What can you put in your thoughts that will be beneficial for yourself and others? So here we have card number 7. This is the 9 of Pentacles. And this is a card of abundance in all things: time, energy, health, money, resources. This is someone who is doing very well. It is in correlation with the law of attraction. Our thoughts become things. So to work with the law of attraction, it's important to focus on what we want, but not what we don't want. There is a catch, however. You can focus on what you want, but you need to think about it consistently, believe it, be it right now, in the moment, and take actions toward it. So the universe, you can put it out to the universe, and the universe is going to go, okay, we get it, but are you doing anything for yourself to bring it about? If not, we're not going to help. So this is the law of attraction. Card number 8 is the 9 of Wands. And as you can see, this is a very battle-worn individual. Nothing like this one here, which is the 9 of Pentacles. Nothing like the law of attraction card. But this person looks battle-worn, and they're just tired of the battle. But they're still standing. They haven't given up. This card is in correlation with the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. It's saying that everyone can transform their life from this to this, the abundance card. To do so, you need to understand and follow these universal laws to change the energy. And if you do that, if you follow these laws and you understand how they work, and you get to a certain point and you don't like the results, you can change that energy. So you don't have to live in this state. You can work to live in this state just by understanding and following the universal laws. When the universe realizes what you're doing and that you're doing your best to do these things, it will follow suit with you. So the next card is Justice. And this is a card that talks about, well, I should say, I'll just give you the law right now. It is the law of gestation. And the law of gestation is telling you that everything has a gestation period. So you can do all these things and make a request. You know, you are creating something. You want something to happen in your life. So you are putting that idea out there, and you are raising your vibration, and you are giving, and you're changing your belief systems, and you're making sure that what you're asking for is not going to affect anybody else in a bad way. And you are imagining what the compensation will be and seeing yourself as abundant, not as a victim. And the universe will see this. But to set everything up to make happen what you are looking for or what you're attempting to manifest takes time for the universe to put it all together for you. And keeping in mind that it may not end up exactly as you expect it to be. This development time is called the gestation period. Just like legal processes in the justice system take time. So what this law is asking of you is to have patience and allow the universe to set things up, and keep in mind that everything happens in divine timing. Next is the Five of Cups. And this is a card of despair and hopelessness in this case. It goes with the law of relativity. And the law of relativity tells us that we have challenges to help us grow and learn. So to work with and understand the law of relativity, it's asking you to take a look at what is happening to you. Bring your head up. You've got 2 cups here that aren't spilled. Okay, bring your head up and examine why this might be happening to you. What are you meant to learn from the situation? And then continue to look around you and ask yourself if your experience is worse than everyone else's or just different. Because that's what makes it relative. It's relative in the scheme of things. It is on the spiritual plane, knowing that you are having a human experience, but you're a spirit. It's relative. Really doesn't mean a whole lot in the scheme of things. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. However, looking at things in that way makes it a little less daunting. Card 11 is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is about, in this case, emotional flow, emotional rhythm. And it is correlated with the law of rhythm. This is saying that energy is like a pendulum, swings back and forth. All things in the universe move to some kind of rhythm. We have moon cycles, we have seasons, cycle of seasons, we have death and rebirth. There's so many different patterns, cycles. And the law of rhythm is telling you to work with your inner rhythm instead of fighting against the inner rhythms. So working with the cycle of the moon, working with the seasons is extremely healthy for us as human beings. Then we have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is a card that I call the perpetual learner, the student. It's telling me that knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you can work with, the more that you can bring about abundance. This card goes with the law of polarity. And it's saying that everything in the universe has an opposite. Good, evil, hot, cold, love, hate, abundance, lack. So it's telling you here, much like it did with this five of cups and the law of relativity, it's saying look at the issue from the opposite side or direction. By doing that, a new lesson or a different perspective might be what reveals itself to you, what you see. So different from the law of relativity of saying, geez, is this am I the only one suffering like this? The answer, of course, would be no. It makes it relative. We're all connected. We're all going through similar issues. Maybe not all exactly the same, but similar issues. So it's all relative. But here it's saying, look at those issues also from either another person's point of view or just totally differently, opposite, and see what lesson or perspective it brings forth. Card number 13 here goes with law number 13, which is the law of belief. Now, this Knight of Pentacles, he's on a quest. He's on a life quest. And this card is saying, take your time on this life quest. Use your energy and your time and your resources. Use them well. Observe, experience, and choose what you do wisely. The law of belief that this card goes with talks about how dominant beliefs, feelings, and thoughts is what becomes your reality. So you don't want your dominant belief to be, I'm always going to be poor. You want your dominant belief to be, I am so blessed. I have everything I need. So it's saying cultivate beliefs that serve you and discard the ones that you know are going to pretty much destroy any hope you have for what you'd like to manifest. Same with your feelings and thoughts and things you say, things that you do. And then the last law encompasses all of our cards. This was the subject matter mainly, but this last law is the law of gender. And this is not talking about male and female. It is talking about masculine and feminine energies. The universe works with masculine and feminine energies. It's a balance of the two. So here we have masculine and feminine energies, depending on the card. And it's this duality of masculine and feminine energies that is how the universe creates. It's how the duality is how creation happens in the universe. It's how things are manifested. So if you want to create the life that you wish, the life of abundance in all things, not just monetarily, in all things, you need to also balance the masculine and the feminine energies so that you can live more authentically. And in this case, masculine energies may be the active energies, and the feminine energies are a little more passive. It doesn't mean they're not active, because you can take a walk, but that walk can be relaxing. So you're doing two things at once. You're walking, but you're also relaxing. So you've got the masculine and the feminine together. They're balanced. You're doing something in a balanced way. So that is it for Sakeina's conversation this time around. I do hope that you have gotten something out of her conversation with you, and that maybe you'll do a little bit of your own research on the things that she is sharing. So until next time, thanks for being here. Take care.